chapter, Dhyana Yoga, 8th verse.
Jnana vijnana triptatma kutastho vijitendriyaha yukta ityujyate yogi samaloshashma kanchanaha.
Jnana vijnana triptatma Kutasto vijitendriyaha yukta iri uchyate yogi samaloshtashma kanchanaha. The one who is fulfilled with the awakening of consciousness and intelligence, who remains firmly established by overcoming the patterns, who is intense and who views with impartiality whether it is a lump of mud, a stone, or gold, is said to be united, means achieved the ultimate. Now Bhagavan is straight landing on the root patterns of the mind. Understand? Let me repeat the sacred secrets in this verse. One who is fulfilled with the awakening of conscious and intelligence, who remains firmly established by overcoming all the patterns, who is intense and who views with impartiality whether it is lump of mud, a stone, or gold. Bhagavan is hitting at the root of ignorance. Please understand. What is really taking us away from being centered on contentment? What is it? It takes your contentment away. The idea of money. You feel somebody has more than you. So only when you have more and more, you will be able to do what you want. Only that leads to contentment. That is the idea of money. What is idea of money? Who makes gold valuable? Who makes dollar currency valuable? Again, it is the law established. Please understand. It is not always greed. You can say maybe gold people have started becoming greedy because of that color and shining and all that. What about currency? Why people become greedy? Because of the law established, the fear created, the commonly accepted. Please understand. Commonly accepted mutual ideas, mutual understandings. In the beginning, when everybody wants gold, then king would have made a rule. This will be valued because less available, more needed. Then the laws evolved. The value, weight, sharing, giving, taking, holding. Then when the stealing has started, laws to punish the people who steal, everything has started evolving. Even now, what keeps the dollar's value? If you are not ready to do your trades on dollar, there is every possibility you will be attacked later on. Please understand how the value of the currencies are added or reduced. How much is needed in the world? I have to talk revealing the deeper secrets of the human mind, how the human mind functions. Who makes you believe you having the gold or having money, currency in your bank balance is a security for you? The laws created. Why those laws stand alive? The fear created. How the whole fear and the law is sustained. Again, based on the demand and supply. Why should law make gold as an important thing? Because less supply, more demand. Why the stones don't have value but diamonds have value? Because less supply, more demand. And I tell you, the diamond industries, they try to keep the supply less to keep the value high. If they open their whole market, whatever is available to the market, it will be less than stone. The value will be less than stone. What is the difference between a stone and diamond? Only one difference. Less supply, more demand. Otherwise there are more shining stones than diamond. It is not just shining, makes it valuable. It is the collective unconscious decisions which are made and continuously being maintained. If you just remove few people who are maintaining this collective unconscious understanding from the top, the whole thing will collapse, tumble down. In the world there is a constant fight. How I say, the people who maintain the collective unconscious understandings as the social system, if those few pins are removed, the whole system will collapse. Same way, the communists say, the few spiritual leaders who maintain the collective myth of enlightenment, if they are removed, the whole system will tumble down. I look at their system as a myth, and they look at my system as myth. But whose system makes people's life more blissful? Whose system makes people's life more conscious? Whose system makes people's life more celebrating? There are only three systems. Systems where power is made to be believed by mass as important. System where money is made to be believed as important. System where enlightenment is made to be believed as important. I wanted you to know, please understand, power is fear-based system, money is greed-based system, enlightenment is freedom-based system. And people who are not ready to bother or get into any of these three systems are the Shudras. There are only three systems. See, all over the world, the fellows who feel poor in power, only they lead revolutions and lead all independent struggles. What is independence? Come on, let us be open. Today I am going to pull down all the economical, political structures. I am going to expose the hypocrisy. Unless you understand the truths properly, neither the corruption will be avoided, nor the political murders will be avoided. Understand, the world is suffering with these two major diseases. Corruption, When I say corruption, I not only mean this 2G scam and this Colgate scam and all that. Even you swindling and keeping everything under your control more than what you need is corruption. Legalized corruption, that's all. Aparigraha, when you accumulate more than what you need or what you can enjoy, it is corruption. I am not against one country or one government or one currency. I am making all of you, I wanted all of you to think through why this whole power-centered and money-centered system. When you think why, if you understand, you will be free from it. Your consciousness will not suffer anymore from it. You will not judge yourself based on the money you have or the power you have. One of the biggest crime you do to yourself, Atmahatya dosha. There's a beautiful word. The sin you incur by the suicide is called Atmahatya dosha. It is not just the suicide means killing your body. Even if you have the wrong self-identity, even if you destroy your identity by the wrong concepts, you are doing Atmahatya. When you measure yourself through the eyes of the power-based systems, money-based understandings, I tell you, you are doing Atmahatya dosha. People come and tell me, I am such a good person, why I am poor, but all bad people are rich. Already did abuse of your being. You have committed the Atmahatya dosha by measuring yourself based on the money angle, based on the collective misunderstanding based on money. You already underestimated you. You have done the Atmahatya. You are a sinner. You have to suffer, no other way. Stop measuring. I tell you, only when you understand this too, the power-based system and money-based system. Who is the world's richest man? What do you mean by the world's richest man? Just because some few hundred people have agreed to have many zeros in his bank balance in that bank where he is having the account, you call him world's richest man? Who is president? Who is prime minister? Who is the head of the state? Who is the head of the country? Just because few fellows collectively agreed that they will obey his order, who are waiting to sit in his seat. I tell you, you are waiting to get into the state where I am, that is why you are my disciple. One good thing, please understand, all the ministers are waiting to sit in the PM seat, that is why they are ministers in his cabinet. All the followers of each party is waiting to become leader of that party, that is why they are followers. All the poor fellows are waiting to become rich fellows, that is why they are working for the rich fellow. You are waiting to achieve my state, that is why you are my disciple, my follower. One good thing, in my case, even if you achieve my state, I don't lose my state. If a minister reaches and becomes a prime minister will lose his post. If a worker becomes the owner will lose his post. If you become enlightened and a master, I will not lose my post. That is why I am saying the only possibility for coexistence without violence is freedom-based thinking. The real new generation will be created. New humanity will happen only when we start thinking freedom-based, neither greed-based nor fear-based. And I tell you, only when you understand the futility of the collective myth you started believing based on the power-based and money-based, greed-based and fear-based, only when you understand the futility value of these thought trends and the power centers created based on these two, a real sannyasi can be created. Real sannyasi is a person who is free in the inner world, inner space, from both the thought trends, thinking trends, who has not done atmahadya, who has healed his inner self completely, running behind the power center or money center. Not that I don't have power, I have both. Only what is required, that is not my priority list. That is not continuously cropping up in my consciousness, in my inner space again and again. If somebody does a postmortem in your inner space, it will be only crore power, crore power, crore power. You will be doing only that ajapa japa. If somehow I get 100 crore, how nice it will be. If somehow I became MP, how nice it will be. If I became Panchayat president of my area, how nice it will be. If I became MLA in my place, how nice it will be. If I became president of my country, how nice it will be. Your ajapa japa is nothing but, no, postmortem your thought trend. Let the collective myth not be the flow of your thinking trend. When the collective myths are forming the basis of your thought trend, it is called pravritti. When the understanding forms the basis of your thought trend, it is called nivritti. Only when you liberate yourself from this collective myths, you will be a sadhu. I tell you, sadhu is a person who has positioned himself, which can neither be taken away by somebody replacing him in that place, achieving his state, nor by somebody trying to vacate him from that place. Understand? Sadhu is a person who has positioned himself where he cannot be replaced by somebody achieving the same state in which he is, or by somebody trying to snatch something away from him, or snatch himself away from his position. I will not lose my state by neither you achieving my state nor me being put in prison. Nobody can take this away from me. That is why I am sadhu. I wanted millions of sadhus, billions of sadhus. That is the only way to create peaceful planet Earth and save the future of humanity. No political system can save the future of the humanity. Please understand. Democracy, autocracy, communism, any political thought trend, I tell you, no political thought trend can save the humanity, because in every political thought trend, there is a hierarchy. Not only hierarchy, if somebody comes to your place, you are replaced. So naturally there is a competition, jealousy. When there is a competition and jealousy, how do you think it will create peace for the world? Same way money. Neither economical revolution nor political revolution can lead to the peaceful planet Earth, saving the planet Earth. Oh humanity, first all of you who are listening, you guys become sadhus. Have money to the level what you need for you and the people who are dependent on you. Have power just to protect you and the people who are dependent on you. I tell you, if you just have for you, this will never be your first priority. Let the fear-based thought trend and money-based thought trend be not first priority for you. And not only that, even while you accumulate the little money what you need for you and the little power what you need for you, let your inner space understand, let you not judge that you are a poor or a weak based on the power trend or money trend thinking lifestyle. Politicians, they will constantly teach you you are weak, you are going to be in more and more troubles. Only when you believe that you will do what they want you to do for them to remain in power. Only when you feel you are weak, you need a support, you need affiliation, you will join some political party and put posters and flags and everything for him to remain as a leader. I am busting the collective myth. Even while you are accumulating, you don't need to swallow the thought trend. You don't need to believe you are poor. You don't need to believe you are weak. Because you are in the society, you need little bit of that to run your life. Stop with that and let your thought trend, thinking trend be freedom based. When you started thinking freedom based beyond this money and power, you are automatically evolving towards enlightenment based. You are a sadhu. You are a sadhu. Bhagavan is asking you to be a sadhu in this verse. He is very clear. Who views with impartiality whether it is a lump of mud, a stone or gold. How will you start viewing? Only when you are out of the thought trend. When you stand in front of yourself for judging yourself, understand? Nobody else is going to judge you actually. Only your own higher self is going to judge you. When you stand in front of your higher self, you will stand tall. Fortunately, I had the right thought trend and I did not get carried away by the collective myth and the collective unconscious trend. I tell you guys, the moment your thought trend has started working freedom based, you are a sadhu, unexploitable. Only when we create at least few crore sadhus, unexploitable. When I say sadhu, I don't even mean you need to give up your life and family and all that. That is why I am making my statements very clear. If you are a head of a family, have money for your old age retirement and for the people who are dependent on you. I tell you, in this modern age, you will finish this work within few years. And don't work for your unnecessary fear. Don't think if there's a huge tsunami, what will I do? If there's a big revolution, what will I do? Even if you think and work and keep everything, and you are the President of America, you think you can save yourself. If you see the percentage and statistics, more President of Americans were killed than the citizens of America. If you remained as just a citizen of America, you would not have been killed so much. No, you would not have been shot to death. You would not have been killed. See the statistics. Everybody thought if they become president, they are protected because they are the peak of the power center. But if you see the statistics, more statesmen, presidents, prime ministers were only killed. If you see the percentage, how many common men, how many are killed? How many statesmen, how many are killed? I can tell you, at least 100 times more statesmen are killed. So why are you rushing towards the job which is so insecure? Why are you rushing towards a power center which is so dangerous? Leader remains a leader if he creates ambition to be in his seat for millions of people. Rich man remains as a rich man only if he creates ambition on millions of people to be in his place. If all of you decide, we don't want to be Bill Gates, then what will happen to him? If all of you decide, we don't want to be president or prime minister, then what will happen to the whole political party? If all of you decide, we don't want to be enlightened being, I have no problem. I will remain in my state. Even if there is nobody is here, I will sit and sing my song to the parrot which comes once in a while here, to the crow which comes once in a while here, to the trees outside. I will sit and sing with them. I will be singing my song to them. And if all of you achieve my state, I am not going to lose my state. That is why all the spiritual components, spiritual part of the religions always were based on the state of Advaita. See, in Buddhism, the cream of Buddhism always promotes the state of Buddha, not the Gautama the Buddha. He is great because he leads you to the Buddha state. Same way Shiva. Again and again, Shivatva. Shiva is great because he leads you to Shivatva. Shiva is great because he leads you to Sivapada. He is great because he leads you to the Sayujya with Shiva. There are only two religions. One religion which teaches even God is a stepping stone to enlightenment. There is one religion, even enlightenment is stepping stone to God. The prayer-based religions always teach even enlightenment is stepping stone to God. Even if you become enlightened, you will be his dasa. You will be serving him. But all meditation-based religions teach even God is a stepping stone for you to become enlightened. Of course, my experience teaches only the second. Even God is a stepping stone for you to reach enlightenment. When your thinking trend starts with this freedom-based, free from the collective myths, collective beliefs, common beliefs, collective understandings, your thinking trend is called nivritti. The moment your thinking trend starts in nivritti, you are a sadhu. I sincerely request all my followers to take a vow. You will remain as sadhu and you will go on inspiring people to be sadhus. Understand? You remain as sadhu. Go on inspiring people to remain as sadhus. Have money to manage your needs. Have power to protect yourself. After that, put all your energy and everything to remain as sadhu, to create more and more sadhus. Only by creating more and more sadhus, we are going to save the planet Earth. Understand? If you are living with the power-based thought trend or money-based thought trend, I tell you, really I tell you, you are lying to yourself. Lying to yourself is the worst punishment. Don't lie to your mirror, your reflection. I have a story for you guys. There was a magic mirror which would kill you if you lie to it. One day, a brunette was doing her makeup and said to herself, I think I am the smartest woman ever. She immediately dropped dead. The next day, a redhead was doing her hair and said to herself, I think I am the prettiest woman alive. She immediately dropped dead. The third day, a blonde was flossing her teeth. She stopped and said to herself, I think, and she dropped dead. So don't try to think in front of the magic mirror. Lying to yourself is atmahadya dosha. Don't believe you are poor, I tell you. Who can make you poor? It is collective belief which makes you poor. Don't believe you are weak. Who makes you weak? It is collective belief. Somebody is powerful. He is forcing that on you. The moment you swallow the pill that you are weak, you are going to be mesmerized by him and do what he wants you to do. The moment you swallow the pill, you are poor, you are going to be just following his instruction and do what he wants you to do. I liberate you from fear and greed. And I tell you, I don't even want you to think the way I am thinking. I am just liberating you from both the bonded thinking, the bondage, bound way of thinking. Now you have your own way of thinking. Freedom. Out of freedom. The moment you start thinking in the lines of freedom, you are a sadhu. If we create 1 crore sadhus, we will save the planet Earth. We will save the planet Earth. Let's create sadhus. Only when you are a sadhu, you can understand and live what Bhagavan says, Yukta ityuchade yogi samaloshtaashva kanchanaha. When there is a stone, mud and few gold coins, 3 ways of behavior. The moment you see cabal, pack up the gold coins into the bag. That's one way. Second, no, it is not mine, it is somebody else's. So I'll leave it in the police station so that whoever is lost, let them come and take it. This is the second type of behavior. Or I leave it here, why should I touch? Let whoever owns, let them take it. Going. It's the second type of behavior. Third, not even knowing the difference between the 3 and walking. If you are behaving first, you are fully drunk, addicted to the alcohol of common beliefs of greed system. If you are second, you stopped drinking, but still you are not completely out of the sober mood you had due to your earlier drinking. You can save you, but still you believe that system. Still, a little bit of the poisoning is remaining in your body from the common beliefs of the society. And if you are not even bothered, you just walk. You are completely de-addicted from the alcohol of common belief of greed-based thinking system, power-based thinking system. I tell you, once you create the freedom-based thinking, what a joy. You will just feel, wow. You will literally live as a god on the planet Earth. Don't be richest man on the planet Earth. They are not settled in their life. Don't be the most powerful man on the planet Earth. They are not settled in their life. That's the riskiest job. See now, so much of statistics are coming out. The maximum number of people committing suicide, the profession is psychiatrists. And the maximum number of people killed, the profession is president. See, the maximum number of people killed, which profession? The president. Statesman of the countries. That is the profession where maximum number of people are killed. Then why do you want to run into that profession? Understand? Jnana Vijnana Triptatma, in whom the consciousness means the jnana, Vijnana means making the conscious into the practical lifestyle, intelligence. Jnana is awakening of consciousness. Vijnana is making the consciousness into the practical lifestyle. One example I will give you. Understanding. Now whatever I said today, wow, freedom-based thinking. That is jnana. Making it as a lifestyle. You make enough for your family and you, and have enough power for self-defense. From that, without bothering, living the life of sadhu and creating more and more sadhus. When you make this as a lifestyle, it is vijnana. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma, in whom the jnana and vijnana is awakened and living firmly established in tripti, in the contentment and joy. I tell you, I work so much. I inspire people to work so much. But not a moment I moved out of my contentment. Triptatma. What a beautiful word. Kutasto Vijitendriyaha, who is established firm in the state beyond the patterns. Today in your book of art, write clearly, I am a sadhu at least 10 times. And remind yourself constantly, let your thought trend be a sadhu. You are a yogi only when you start thinking on freedom based. If your thought trend is power based, you are a Kshatriya. If your thought trend is greed based, you are a Vaishya. If your thought trend is freedom based, you are a Brahmana. If your thought trend is not even awakened to flow towards anything, it is dullness based, dumbness based, you are a Shudra. Nothing can be done. So Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra, does not come by birth. It does not come by your biological father or mother. It comes by your own quality. You decide whether you are a Brahmana or a Vaishya or Kshatriya or Sudra. No one else can decide. What is your thought trend? Where your thinking trend boils down, your lifestyle boils down, action trend boils down, action items boils down. If it boils down to finally power, you are a Kshatriya. If it boils down to finally wealth, you are a Vaishya. If it boils down finally to freedom, you are a Brahmana. If it boils down to dumbness and dullness, you are a Shudra. Nothing can be done. It is not dependent on your birth, father, mother. It is dependent on your thought trend, from whom you picked up thoughts, how you think and live.